Okay, so we left off yesterday and we were talking about phenotypic selection, and I left off at directional selection, and it was talking about how when an environment of a population changes, the allele frequency of a certain type of allele can change in one direction or the other. And the example I gave was giraffes. If they move to an area with taller trees, it causes their population's neck length to increase in average. So the longer neck allele is chosen as the more fit gene or more fit allele to survive in the population, rather than like a smaller neck or too long of a neck. Another type is disruptive selection. And it's sort of like the opposite. It is only when the extremes of a certain environment, only the extreme alleles of a certain environment are chosen to be fit to survive. And the medium or the intermediate part of the allele are not fit to survive. So an example is an environment only small seeds or large seeds. It causes the birds with medium-sized beaks that have trouble with eating either of them to tend to have less offspring and eventually die out. So eventually you're left with a population of only small-beaked birds and large-beaked birds. And the third type is stabilizing selection. And it causes individuals with intermediate phenotypes to have a greater chance of survival and a greater chance for more offspring. So it's only the intermediate stages of the allele that are chosen to be fit to survive. Neutral variation. Genetic variation of certain trait does not affect the rates of reproduction. Is considered neutral variation. And the frequency of these genes within a population then dependent almost entirely upon genetic drift. So allele does not affect how you survive whatsoever. For example, tongue rolling, as we talked about. That doesn't affect our chances of survival. So the chances of you having it is all upon chance or genetic drift. Next session talks about sexual selection. And there are two main types of sexual selection. It is intrasexual and intersexual. Intrasexual selection, it occurs between individuals of the same sex, and it's most commonly males, but it can be females in some cases. It's competition between two more members, and the victor has become the chosen mate of the females. So a lot of examples in nature, there's a group of females that are ready to mate, and one male, or well, many males will fight over, like, to be king of the hill, sort of, and then they protect their area. And then intersexual selection is the choosing of one sex, and is usually done by the female choosing the male, which